Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Brutus, and in today's video I'll be going through the Car Mechanic Simulator Update 1.34 patch notes. Now this also includes the 1.33 and also the 1.32, as the version for the 1.32 is the new DLC, but it's been released on the same date as the 1.34. But before we get started, if you do enjoy this video, please make sure to leave a thumbs up, as that'll help out my channel a lot in the YouTube algorithm. And if you're new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe, as it's free to do and you can always unsubscribe anytime. With that being said, let's get straight into the new content and the patch notes. Okay, so first things first, the newest DLC added to Car Mechanic Simulator 2021 is the Drag Racing DLC. So they've added a couple of things and also fixed a couple of things. Added ability to switch between automatic and manual gearbox. Added ability to toggle TCS or ESC. They fixed a rare bug with window condition after mounting. Fixed a bug with loading wheel on wheel balancer. Fixed setting default room color on cars in salvaged auctions. Fixed brake lights in rear clamshells. Brake lights now have small fade effect, and they also fixed steering wheel bug on the tracks. So that is the bug fixes and the patch notes and so forth. But there is more to the DLC. So the DLC, as I said, has been released today, the 9th of November. It's a paid DLC, so it's not free. Unfortunately, I do not have any gameplay of it because I didn't buy it yet, but I will most likely do it in the future. So game modes, it's one of the new things added is game modes. Challenge yourself at parallel races with AI in several game modes. I don't know why they can't just make it multiplayer. Okay, this game would be so good in multiplayer. Practice, examine your car and configure your opponent. Change his engine, tires and tuning values, so you can do your opponent's vehicle as well. There's a quick race, pick a class and race with randomized car setups. Single race, check your build and reaction time with the opponent matched to your rating. And there's championship, challenge your vehicle in a series of races, bet who will win and grab a big prize at the end. Okay, so all the distances that you get is a 1/8 mile, so it's 1/8 of a mile, a 1/4 mile and 1/2 a mile and 1 mile. Each car now has a drag rating. It's in the index that assigns it to a particular racing category. Remember that any change in the tuning of a car requires checking it on the dyno to calculate updated drag rating. So if you want to drag race your vehicle and you've tuned it, you need to go to the dyno first. There's manual transmission, the ECS or the TCS. With this DLC we are introducing manual transmission. In drag racing it is mandatory to use manual transmissions. In the rest of the track you can choose between automatic and manual. You can also disable ECS and TCS if you wish. AT/MT in-game options, and there's ECS /TCS in rebind, so that's where you can find the settings. The additional tunings is to make your car even more capable of going fast. We expand the capability to tune engines. So ECU tuning, we give you 3 stages of ECU. They may not be the cheapest way to tune your car, but you can push your build to the limits. The carburetor tuning for classic engines. The classic engines is the older models, and the classics is the ones using the carburetor, otherwise it's fuel injection these days. We introduce carburetor tuning, crank the power of every I guess you can say the carburetor and so forth. Yeah, it's crank the power for every carburetor, so the carburetors can be tuned as well. The stats after each run, detailed statistics of drag time and are presented, as well as general data like 0 to 60 times, 0 to 100 times, etc. And there's bets. Are you good at betting? You can bet on the results of the championship races, another way to make some cash. Cars, we also added 4 more fast vehicles you might like to try. So the first vehicle is the Arezzo Cortona. It's an Italian classic. The engine is the V12 DOHC ARZ. Horsepower is 520 horsepower and the torque is 489 Newton meters. And then we've got the Bolt Reptilla R6 American powerhouse. The engine is the V8 OHV CGM M1D or the V8 OHV CGM SCM1D. Then the power is, for the first engine, is 490 horsepower and 627 Newton meters torque, and then the second engine is 680 horsepower and the torque is 840 Newton meters. And then there's more vehicles. There's 2 more they have added. The next one is Hammerdal Strail S, the Nordic hypercar. The engine is the V8 DOHC AXK TRSM or the V8 DOHC AXK SCRSM, and the power for both of them is 910 horsepower and 1014 horsepower, and the torque for both is 1065 newtons and 1010 newtons. And then we get the Mayenne T8. It's a German sports car. The engine is a V10 OHV, so it's overhead valve MT8. The power is 525 horsepower and the torque is 542 newtons. Then we get the new engines. To complete the package, new tuning parts for 6 new engines. So it looks like this is just tuning parts, but it might be new engines as well. So it's the V12 DOHC ARZ, V8 OHV, the CGM M1D, the V8 overhead valve CGM SCM1D, and then there's the V8 DOHC AXK, the TRSM and the SCRSM, and then there's the one for the V8 overhead valve MT8. So it's basically the new vehicles that's getting tuning parts and so forth, and the engines also added, because I can't see how you can add the vehicle but you can't add its engine to the game. So that is the only patch notes and details I've got on this new DLC and patch of the game. So yeah, that would be it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up. As I said, it'll help out my channel a lot in the YouTube algorithm. And if you're new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe, as it's free to do and you can always unsubscribe at any time. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video.